The Empire has big things planned for you.
Hey, welcome back to ScreenCrush. I'm Ryan, and let's talk about The Bad Batch. Now, the first season streamed more than a year ago, so you might be fuzzy on some of the details. So if you don't have time to rewatch, don't worry, because we're going to recap everything you need to know before watching The Bad Batch Season 2. First of all, let me give you a little rewind on the Star Wars galaxy. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was this galactic republic that governed thousands of different planets. Instead of an army, the peace was kept by an order of Jedi Knights, who served this all-powerful cosmic entity called the Force. The Jedi believe that their ancient enemies, the Sith, are all dead, but secretly, one of the Sith is in control of the Galactic Republic. This is Chancellor Palpatine, and he secretly manipulates thousands of planets to secede from the Republic, and this starts the Clone Wars between the Separatist droid army and an army of clones created by the Republic, and led by the Jedi Knights. Now, the clones are created from the genetic template of a bounty hunter named Jango Fett, and they start off all being very uniform, but gradually they develop their own personalities, their own names, and desires. One particular clone regiment, the 501st, is led by Captain Rex, and they're attached to a Jedi Knight named Anakin Skywalker. One of my favorite members of this squad is Echo, who always repeats his orders.
Comlink, we just relayed orders from... We all heard the orders, Echo! Stop calling me that! Stop repeating every order!
When the 501st is sent to rescue a Republic officer named Tarkin, the mission goes sideways and Echo is killed. Very sad. Or maybe he's not, we'll see. Years later, Anakin and Rex are on a mission to infiltrate a Separatist base along with a squad of irregular clone troopers called the Bad Batch. Like I said before, most clones are designated to be uniform, but these four have unique genetic mutations that make them into a kind of special forces squad. Their leader is Hunter, who has advanced senses and is a tracker.
Hunter can feel the electromagnetic frequencies from anywhere on the planet.
Wrecker, who is strong, dumb, and likes blowing stuff up.
I like to blow things up because I like to blow things up!
Tech, who is a tech wizard.
Found it.
And Crosshair, who is a stone-cold sniper. And their official name is Clone Force 99, named after this sweet old clone who sacrificed his life to defend their base from the Separatists.
The Army's lucky to have a clone like you, Heavy. Not as lucky as I am to have a brother like you.
The Bad Batch, along with Anakin and Rex, find out that Echo is alive. The Separatists filled him up with plugs like a Matrix character and use his knowledge of the Republic troops to win battles. So they rescue Echo, but afterwards he decides that he belongs with a group of irregulars, so he stays with the Bad Batch. So then the evil Sith Lord executes his plan to take over all the Republic and kill all the Jedi. The clones have a chip in their heads that is a kind of Jedi failsafe, and on Palpatine's orders they execute like 99% of the Jedi in the galaxy. This event is called Order 66, but here's the thing. The Bad Batch's chips don't activate because they're irregular, so they don't understand why their clone brothers are suddenly fighting one of the Jedi generals and her Padawan, who is actually young Kanan Jarrus from Star Wars Rebels. Hunter chases down the Padawan but lets him escape, but Crosshair is all suspicious and he's like, Jedi are traitors and you let that boy escape. Anyways, they all go back to Kamino, their home base where all of the clones were created. Then they get word that Chancellor Palpatine has remade the Republic into
The first galactic empire!
The Bad Batch watch his declaration and they're like, I don't know about serving this evil empire, we're Republic men. But Crosshair's like, yay, evil empire. Yay, evil. I really worry about this relationship sometimes. So now that the war is over, this new empire wants to phase out clones and replace them with regular conscripts, which are much cheaper.
A service conscription soldiers could provide at half the cost.
Around this time, the Bad Batch meets another irregular clone, a young girl named Omega. She is one of the two unaltered clones of Jango Fett, and the other one is Boba Fett, and he's busy running off to become the galaxy's baddest bounty hunter, let no man put asunder. Unless he be put under 6 feet. Got an Imperial fleet backing up.
One eternity later.
Alright, awesome! Fett's Vet by MC Chris. You can't cage MC Chris, he's a bird. Damn right. Now, anyways, they meet Omega. She's nice, a little annoying at first, but she endears herself to the group when she starts a food fight! So the Imperial put in charge of transitioning away from the clones is named Admiral Rampart, but he's actually impressed by the Bad Batch, so he sends them on a special mission to kill Saw Gerrera, this guy, and to slaughter the civilian party that he leads. The Batch refuses and Crosshair leaves the group.
If you don't have the stomach to do what needs to be done, then you're not fit to lead this squad.
Then they realize that Omega is an irregular clone just like them, so she is a member of the Batch. So they go back to Kamino to rescue her from the Empire, and there's an implication here that she's maybe Force sensitive or there's something really special about her.
The remaining clones of Squad 99 have escaped, along with Omega.
Anyways, This is the Bad Batch. Next, they go to visit an old friend and clone deserter named Cut, and they help to smuggle him and his family off this world. But this is complicated because the Empire is checking and making sure that every citizen registers with a unique Imperial chain code. This makes the Bad Batch question how much a band of irregulars like themselves can fit into this galaxy now, and how they can possibly evade the Empire. The Empire repairs Crosshair's control chips, so he is now fully under their control. So the Empire puts him in charge of a squad of human recruits with one mission: to track down and kill the Bad Batch. Oh, and along the way, Crosshair orders them to kill a bunch of civilians, and they comply.
Good soldiers follow orders.
This is around the time when the Empire decides to fully phase out clones.
Conscripted soldiers will make clones obsolete.
Meanwhile, Omega has become more a part of the crew, and Wrecker even makes her own little bedroom.
I never had my own room before.
You're part of this squad now, too.
Alright, so now that the Empire is going to phase out clones, the Kaminoans are worried that their entire business model is about to collapse. Kind of like me if they stop making Star Wars TV shows. Remember, the cloners are all about making that green.
Cloners? Are they friendly?
Oh, it depends how big your pocketbook is.
They need to track down Omega because her DNA is the key to making better clones.
What does he want me for?
You already know the answer.
So they send bounty hunter Fennec Shand to kidnap her. You remember Fennec from the Book of Boba Fett.
Huh. Yours looks shinier than mine.
She captures Omega, there's a badass chase, and Hunter gets her back. So now the Bad Batch is not only on the run from the Empire, but they have to find out who hired a bounty hunter to capture Omega. So they travel to the criminal hub of Ord Mantell. You remember this place.
Well, the bounty hunter we ran into in Ord Mantell changed my mind.
So they meet a bar owner named Sid with a C.
Yes, well, we separated due to a fundamental difference in ideology.
That's cute. You thinking I care.
Who is voiced by Rhea Perlman from Cheers.
You homesick for the Bronx?
Yeah.
Here.
Sid says that she can find out who hired Fennec Shand, and she can get them some freelance mercenary work, so they got some money. But first they have to help out her client by rescuing a kid who was taken by Zygerian slavers. A child was taken hostage? Oh no! Yeah, but it turns out it was actually a baby Rancor like this guy. They save the Rancor, who is called Muchi, and then they hand her off to Jabba the Hutt's Major Domo Bib Fortuna. Wait, this is like years before Return of the Jedi, right? So like, does that mean that the baby Rancor Muchi? Nah, the Bad Batch might have just sent cute little Muchi to her death. Okay, so now the Bad Batch is in debt to Sid for reasons.
You fellas must be pretty valuable. Don't worry. I'm good with secrets.
So they start doing freelance gigs for her, like finding the head of a separatist tactical droid, which makes them run into a couple of old friends of Ahsoka Tano's, the Martez sisters. The sisters are also looking for the tactical droid, but they are working for Captain Rex, and they tell him where he can find the Bad Batch. Captain Rex? But didn't he do an Order 66? Ah, yes, I should have mentioned this before. So, during Order 66, he fought off the order to kill Ahsoka Tano, Anakin's old apprentice. Ahsoka was able to use a device in a ship's medbay to remove Rex's chip. Then the two of them fought their way through a squad of clones, and unfortunately, most of them died in the process. Hey, look, Seven Samurai's ending. So now, Rex is chip-free and starting to fight against the Empire, and that's why he wanted that tactical droid. He shows up to meet the Bad Batch, and he's all like, whoa, 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 you guys still have control chips in your heads? But he does it like, you know, like when you find out that somebody hasn't seen Breaking Bad. I haven't seen Breaking Bad. What? You haven't seen Breaking Bad? See, just like that. So Rex takes him to a junk planet called Bracca, where there's a junked Republic cruiser with the same device that Ahsoka used to remove Rex's chip. But before he can remove them all, Wrecker's chip activates and the others have to fight him off.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Hilarious. Eventually, they do remove all their chips, but they're spotted by a member of the Scrapper Guild who rats them out to the Empire. And of course, a few years later, a runaway Padawan named Cal Kestis will also be hiding out on Bracca. Anyways, Crosshair leads a team to Bracca to capture his brothers, while the Kaminoan Lama Su sends another bounty hunter named Cad Bane to capture Omega.
Cad Bane at your service.
In the process, Crosshair gets...
Very badly burned!
And Cad Bane captures Omega. Oh no, she gets captured a lot, right? Kids in Hollywood, high five. Alright, so Cad Bane takes Omega to an old cloning facility that is rusted and falling apart, foreshadowing, and the head cloner, Lama Su, orders Bane to kill Omega because they only need her DNA. But the other Kaminoan, a scientist named Nala Se, has grown fond of Omega, so she hires Fennec Shand to rescue her alive. Now there's an old-fashioned Western shootout, and Omega is ultimately rescued by the Bad Batch.
And there was much rejoicing.
Okay, so because Omega has this habit of getting captured, they leave her behind with Sid for their next mission. They go to Raxus, the old capital of the Separatists. You see, the senator there was told to play nice with his new Imperial overlords, but instead he gives a stirring speech about how bad the Empire is.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Sorry, I meant this speech.
Oppression breeds rebellion.
No, not that one. This one.
I can no longer condone this unjust occupation.
So the governor is arrested and Sid is hired to get him out. But the Bad Batch aren't too keen on working for their old enemies, the Separatists.
It's the brains of the entire Separatist campaign here on Anaxis.
I could demolish that with one hand! Yeah!
But they do rescue him, and presumably he goes off to found the Separatist faction of the rebellion that Saw Gerrera mentions here.
Krieger's a Separatist.
When the Bad Batch gets back to Ord Mantell, they find out that Omega is amazing at gambling and she's managed to pay off all of their debts to Sid.
Super easy, barely.
No, we don't say it. Wrong screen channel, wrong Ryan. That guy's great though. Next, we go to another key location from the Clone Wars, Ryloth, the home planet of the Twi'leks, where a resistance leader named Cam Syndulla successfully fought off Separatist occupiers and liberated his world. Now afterwards, Ryloth joined the Republic, but now the people there aren't too hot on being ruled by the Galactic Empire. But there's this corrupt senator who is an Imperial puppet, and he wants to let the Empire build a massive refinery because jobs, money. First though, he needs the Twi'lek freedom fighters to step down, and this includes our old friend Cam Syndulla. So the Bad Batch are hired to arm the resistance against the Empire. Now, Cam's daughter is named Hera Syndulla, and she'll grow up to be Hera from Star Wars Rebels.
We just might survive this. Wait, you doubted your own plan? Never.
Good, because I sure did.
But Crosshair has his own mission on Ryloth. He assassinates the corrupt senator, and Rampart blames it on the freedom fighters, so the Empire can now just take control and build as many refineries as it wants. Jobs, money, and then they capture Cam. The Bad Batch rescues Cam with the help of little Hera, and they do this with also the help of some clones who have decided that, hey, we don't like fascism.
What the Empire is doing is wrong.
This event shows Rampart that the Bad Batch is dangerous because they spread the idea of clone individuality, so he authorizes Crosshair to hunt them all down once and for all.
Wipe them out. All of them.
Back on Ord Mantell, the Bad Batch briefly get entangled with the Pike Syndicate and see some real nasty gangster shit go down on a Deveronian.
We do not accept bad deals.
And then things start to heat up. Rex hires him to rescue an old clone friend of his named Gregor.
Traitor. That's Captain Traitor. Insubordinate plebe.
Gregor was sent to train the new TK troopers. Now these are the regular conscripted human stormtroopers that we know from the original trilogy. Pretty soon though, Gregor was like, I don't really care for fascism, so he tries to defect and was arrested. The Bad Batch rescue him and see that clones are now being replaced.
These are not clone troopers.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. These are our replacements.
And then Hunter is captured. The episode ends with the Empire canceling all contracts with the Kaminoans and then executing all of the cloners, except for Nala Se because she is potentially a useful scientist and the Empire has need of cloners.
Good.
Okay, so Crosshair takes Hunter to Topoka City to lure the Bad Batch out of hiding. The city is totally empty because the Empire is about to destroy it and all the cloning technology, because years later they don't want any rebel groups to be able to make a military of clones to rival the Empire's. Omega sneaks the Bad Batch into Nala Se's old lab where we are reunited with our good friend AZ-13.
Do not shoot! I am AZ-345211.
AZ?
Omega, I am relieved it is you.
AZ reveals that the Bad Batch are not actually accidents. They were designed with their specific mutations to serve a purpose. The Batch run into Crosshair and then try to reconcile with their old friend.
This isn't you. It's your inhibitor chip. We can help you.
But then Crosshair reveals that his chip was removed, and he has actually made his own choice to fight for the Empire.
I had my chip removed a long time ago.
Which really is the ultimate expression of the individuality that the Bad Batch truly represents. But then Rampart orders the destruction of Topoka City with Crosshair still inside. The Bad Batch works together with Crosshair to escape the city from underwater, and Omega saves Crosshair's life, and in return, he saves her droid. So like, he's not all bad.
Thank you for saving AZ.
Consider us even.
They all go their separate ways while Lama Su is taken to an Imperial cloning facility to work on a special project, probably figuring out how to clone the Emperor in Rise of Skywalker. So the entire series is basically leading up to explaining this.
Somehow.
Well, that's the Bad Batch. If you have any questions or if there's something I left out, let me know in the comments below or at me on Twitter. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe, smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.